What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Wanted to give y'all a quick little update on the duck boat. So I got a new motor since last duck season and wanted to show y'all how it's set up and how it's running. I got the new Tohatsu 25 4-stroke. They were apparently known to be super reliable and super quiet. They've kind of been a hot topic for duck hunters recently, so I definitely see why now. It's extremely quiet and they run super smooth, and they're just really reliable. Also, I wanted to show y'all a couple things to look out for if you're in the market for one of these outboards. Let's get into it. So my old Suzuki 2-stroke broke down on me in the middle of the season last year, so I ended up buying one of these, and I've just absolutely loved it so far. This is the short shaft, no electric tilt and trim. So it's a little bit cheaper without the electric tilt and trim, which to me is worth it. You got your standard trim bolt here, you can still adjust, so I think it's worth going no electric tilt and trim, but that's just me, especially because I got it on my jack plate still. So a couple things to take into account if you're in the market for one of these is determining whether you're going to need a short shaft or a long shaft motor. My measurements were like right in between short and long. Ended up going with the short shaft just because I have the short transom. That's really what you're supposed to use with a short transom. Mine was just kind of higher because of my jack plate, how it mounts. So I was kind of worried about how it was going to fit on the jack plate and how it was going to run. Didn't know if it would get on plane and run deep enough. One thing to keep in mind, these short shafts, they're a little bit shorter than like your old motors. So my old Suzuki, it was like way longer. For whatever reason, when I put this motor on, I was super worried it wasn't going to run right. But luckily, it actually runs like perfect. It could not be any shallower in the water or it probably wouldn't run. So that's good. But definitely take that into account. You know, where is your prop going to be in the water? With my jack plate all the way up, the prop is just like barely in the water. The fin is way above the bottom of the boat there. And so this prop is just barely going in the water. I can't run full plane with it like this, but I can putter around and move pretty good with the jack plate all the way up. I'll show y'all what it looks like when it's down. So the way I mounted my jack plate, the motor actually sits a little bit higher than the transom, and that's why I was in between a short shaft and a long shaft. Luckily it worked out, but this is how it sits with the jack plate as far down as I can get it. That plate is like right in line with the bottom of the boat, and it's been running great. Another thing to look out for is the pitch of your prop. I didn't know anything about that before I bought this motor, but it came with a 10-pitch prop, and I was hitting the rev limiter at full throttle, and it was because of the prop. This is now a 12-pitch prop. I got an 11 that I'm going to try later on, but it runs great with a 12-pitch. One thing I will say, and it's definitely something that I don't love about this new motor, it takes forever to get on plane. And I don't know what the reasoning behind that is. I don't know if it's the prop. I don't know if it's just the motor. But it definitely takes a while to get on plane. The 2-stroke, the old Suzuki 2-stroke just seemed to be like super explosive and it would just hop up on plane. But once this thing gets up and going, it goes. It scoots. It's got a lot of torque behind it, which I do like. It can push like a lot of people and a lot of gear in your boat, which is good. That is kind of a downside though. The old 2-strokes are probably going to be a little hotter. With it getting on plane a little slower, you'd think it'd be a little faster on the top end speed too, but not really in my experience. This boat is running like 26, 27 mile an hour without anything else in it. We're going to go test that here in a minute. But yeah, a little bit slower than the old 2-stroke, but definitely more reliable. Kind of a trade-off there. One thing I do really love though about this motor is it is super fuel efficient. I ran it for like a couple weeks without having to fill it up. I am running non-ethanol gas in this just to try to baby it because it's a brand new motor. And I would definitely recommend doing that. It's been running really good. This tiller handle, for whatever reason, has been getting loose on me. I don't know if that's a common problem or not, but I've just kind of been having to tighten this up every once in a while. But other than that, I mean, it runs so good. Let's put it up on the muffs and listen to it out of the water. Alright, we got the muffs on. I'm going to start it up for you, show y'all how it sounds out of the water. There's also no keys with this motor, you just push the button. It just starts right up every single time. It's perfect. So I mean, it's got some power. You can hear it. Yeah. As you can tell, it's got a little bit of power behind it, and once you put it in the water, it gets super, super quiet. So now we're gonna go put the boat in and do a quick speed test. One with nothing in the boat but me, and then we'll put some gear in it and see how it runs after that. Let's go to the boat ramp. All right guys, we're out here on the water now. I'm gonna start it up, and then we're gonna do a speed test. Let's go. So as you can tell, super, super quiet when it's idling. So this is the speed test with one other person in the boat. Alright, well I got it up to about 28 right there. I'm getting 28 miles an hour out of this motor with nothing else in the boat. And then with one other person in the boat, I got 26 miles an hour. So pretty good overall. Not sure if you can tell, but it just takes a little time to get on plane. And then once you're on plane, it's almost like it hits a second gear and just flies. Really happy with how this is running. If you're in the market for one of these duck boat motors, definitely look into the Tohatsus. Well y'all, that's gonna do it for today's video. Got a good speed test and a bunch of info about this motor. Hopefully this helps y'all out if y'all are looking to get a duck boat motor. I'll definitely be doing more of these in the future. I've got a couple different props I want to try out, and always got more to play with this boat. So y'all stick around, stay tuned for those. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.